This morning, you all have the honor and the privilege of hearing from some of our young people who were part of the mission trip earlier to Nashville earlier this summer. And so they want to share a little bit with you about what they did and experienced. And so, first is Jason Killian.
Good morning. So like Father Cal said, I am Jason Killian, and this was, at the beginning of the summer, I had the opportunity to go on my fourth, actually, youth missions trip, summer mission trip, with Good Sam. As it's my fourth, I can pretty confidently say that these are always an amazing experience. Sinead does an awesome job planning them, and they're an amazing opportunity to both grow spiritually as well as make a significant difference in the community we're serving. So one project from this trip that really stood out to me was it was a diaper packing organization, which sounds a little strange, but basically what it does is it provides diapers for in-need families as government funding, such as like food stamps or things like that, that provide for some essentials, don't cover other essentials that are very needed for like taking care of a child. So what our group was able to do was pack, in a matter of a couple hours, like thousands of diapers for people in need, which would have taken a small group days to do. So that's kind of one of the things I love the most about these mission trips is you're able to really, you put in the work, and it is sometimes hard work, but it's fun too. But you put in the work and you're really able to see the effect that has on a community that you're serving. So I just want to say thank you to Sinead because she puts in a lot of work to plan these, but looking forward to the next one.
Jacob Neisler.
Hi, my name is Jacob Neisler, and I was one of this year's attendees on the 2022 mission trip. This was my first experience on a mission trip, and I am thankful for the opportunity. I was not certain what to expect in terms of the kinds of help we would give to others and how that would affect my thinking. Thanks to Sinead, our group was able to make a very impactful and successful trip to the Nashville area, and were able to help lots of people. We were able to learn how to successfully plant many plants, and we learned how to work as a team to have the greatest impact on the communities we visited. Our visit to the Nashville Diaper Organization was my favorite visit. Not only did I feel I was really helping the organization, I also learned a lot about the differences of people in the communities and their needs. So I think I speak for everyone when I say Father Cal and Sinead did an amazing job helping us learn as much as possible about the importance of giving back to our community and working as a team.
Next, we have Natalie Chambach. Now, several of you may be wondering, I don't think I know Natalie. Natalie and her family are actually members of the Episcopal Church of the Good Shepherd here in Knoxville. And she was looking for a mission trip opportunity and joined our group, and we're really glad she did.
Hey, I'm Natalie, and like Father Cal said, I'm not a member of this church, but my church, Good Shepherd, is very small, so we don't really have much of a youth group. We had maybe 4 people, but our minister recently moved, and so it just kind of was in shambles. And so one day this school year, we came to Church of the Ascension to help plant some things in their new community garden, and Sinead was there, and she just introduced herself to me and told her position here, and that her youth group was going on a mission trip. And my church was so small, so I'd never been on one. So the idea of going on a mission trip, it sounded really cool. And so I was like, okay, I guess I'm going. And so the day of the mission trip, I had physical therapy before, And so I pulled into the parking lot at like 8:30, supposed to be there at like 8:15, like throwing my hair up in a bun, chugging my Celsius, jumping on my suitcase to get it to close. And then Sinead and Father Cal come out and just like are the sweetest. They offer to help me. They're like, oh, it's okay, we've got plenty of space. And they just like embraced me like they'd known me for years, even though it was my first time meeting Father Cal and my second with Sinead. And so on the mission trip, we did many different community service projects and really just like got to explore parts of Nashville that most people don't go to. Because when you think of Nashville, you think of a place that's like a big city, country music, like going downtown. But we got to stay in South Nashville, which is a very Hispanic culture, and like billboards and things like that were in Spanish, not English. And so it just provided a good experience for us to see that other cultures are thriving like miles away from us. And so my favorite part of the mission trip wasn't necessarily like a certain project we did, but just the growth that all of us had. Because like before this, like a lot of us didn't know certain things that mothers needed to raise a child, or that certain people didn't have, or like we learned how to plant many things and like how to give back to the land. And so the mission trip was like, it wasn't necessarily just giving back, but we were kind of able to take for ourselves and grow as our own people. So that was my experience on the mission trip this summer, and I'm very thankful that I was able to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Blake Dietz.
Hey y'all, so as Father Cal said, I'm Blake Dietz. I did not come prepared, so bear with me. I guess the most memorable part of the mission trip is we went and helped this lady named Miss Pearl with her urban garden that was in a very poor section of Nashville that helped a lot of people that were in need. And her I guess her relationship with God and the community around her really stood out to me, because she put her all and her life into this, and how it produces food for these families that may not have had these fresh things to have. And she also, I follow her on TikTok and stuff, and she's a big influencer, and she just made a big impact to me, because it shows how someone who didn't come from a lot can impact a lot of people and how she can just make an impact in the community. So that's what stood out to me.
Thanks, Blake. And Virginia Fields.
Hello. My name is Virginia Fields, as just stated. This is my first mission trip, and the thing that I'm going to talk about that I think was most memorable was not necessarily a charity that we actively participated in. It was on Sunday. Of course, we went to church. We were staying at a church itself, and it was a very beautiful place. They were so welcoming, and I think that everyone there was just amazing. So during the service itself was great. Peggy made cake. I do not know who Peggy was, but I knew that she could make cake. It was very good. I had some. But what really happened in the middle of the service is that they were there to discuss a local shooting that had happened. And they said every single name. I didn't necessarily count, but there was about over 50. They said name, last name, age. And it wasn't like they just said the number, which also would have been devastating. But what they did was they said every name, because these are people. They are not just school shootings. They're not deaths in a school shootings. They're deaths of people in a school shooting. It was very devastating, but it was also very important. Thank you. I had a very wonderful time, and I think that everyone there was great.
Yeah, she pointed out we were there following the Uvalde shooting. So I want to thank all of you for sharing about your experience. And I want to thank all of you for supporting not only the mission trip, but also our youth program in general. So as we pointed out, well, in our Hebrews reading today, it said something, welcoming the stranger, and that you may entertain angels unaware. I I want to thank you all for your support of this work, so that we do some good work in helping raise up more Good Samaritans. So, thank you all.